Our top story today, the SAVE Act officially passed in Congress. It turns out 198 Democrats voted to protect illegals' right to vote. But what does this mean? We have so much more to cover here on the Gateway Pundit's Weekend Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Weekend Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours in around 10 minutes. Our top story today from thegatewaypundit.com, the House voted 221 to 198 to pass the SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship for people to vote. Almost every Democrat voted against it, trying to ensure a path to victory for illegal aliens. Here's what it has to say. The SAVE Act, which requires proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections, passed the House 221 to 198 on Wednesday. Nearly every Democrat lawmaker voted to protect the ability of illegals to vote in federal elections. This is after Joe Biden flooded the U.S. with more than 15 million illegal aliens. The White House issued a statement on Monday condemning the House Republicans' bill requiring proof of citizenship when registering to vote in federal elections. The bill amends the National Voter Registration Act of 1993 to require voters to show documentary proof of United States citizenship. Under current law, states can only require proof of citizenship to register to vote in local and state elections. The Gateway Pundit recently reported on the Democrat opposition to the bill and Minority Whip Catherine Clark's efforts urging House Democrats to vote no on a bill this week. Clark dishonestly claimed that the new law would prevent Americans from registering to vote with their driver's license alone and would make a passport the only acceptable standalone form of identification, which is complete BS. The bill outlines 5 acceptable forms of identification to prove citizenship. The bill is likely dead on arrival in the Senate, and Joe Biden would veto the measure. The full White House statement below said that it's already illegal to vote. Now, the only problem with this is it's already illegal to illegally enter the country, and they already did that. So why wouldn't they vote? We know this is more common than you think, but of course, leave it up to the Senate and the executive branch there to veto this bill when and if it comes into voting standard, because they want to cheat. They literally just don't want a fair and free election. There's no other way around it. Our next story, new. Trump shoots down J.D. Vance beard rumors in comments on vice president shortlist. Looks like a young Abraham Lincoln. Here's what he had to say. President Trump spoke about his vice president candidate shortlist in an interview with Brian Kilmeade on Fox News. Trump shot down a rumor that he was leading against choosing Senator J.D. Vance because of Vance's beard, saying, no, he looks good. Looks like a young Abraham Lincoln. The Vance beard rumors came out of a report on Tuesday by the Bulwark. Trump also commented on Governor Doug Burgum, saying a restrictive North Dakota abortion law he signed is a little bit of an issue. Trump said that he said in Senator Marco Rubio living in the same state is a complication, but could be easily fixed. And he also said, here, word is that you won't pick J.D. Vance because of his facial hair. Is that true? No, he looks good like a young Abraham Lincoln. Speaking about defeated rival former Governor Nikki Haley releasing her delegates on Tuesday, Trump diplomatically said he would look into her not being invited to the Republican convention next week, but said she stayed in the race too long. Former President Donald Trump on whether he will invite Nikki Haley, he made himself clear. Now, North Dakota on Monday adopted one of the strictest anti-abortion laws in the country as Republican Governor Doug Burgum signed legislation banning the procedure throughout pregnancy with slim exceptions up to 6 weeks gestation. In those early weeks, abortions would only be allowed in cases of rape and incest or in medical emergencies. After 6 weeks, rape and incest victims cannot get abortions. Abortions to treat some medical emergencies, such as ectopic pregnancies, are allowed at any stage of pregnancy. This bill clarifies and refines existing state law and reaffirms North Dakota as a pro-life state, Burgum said in a statement. While campaigning for the GOP presidential nomination last year, Burgum said that he would not sign a national abortion ban if he were elected president. Trump's position on abortion is stated in the Republican platform released this week. The Republicans will protect and defend and vote the people from within the states on the issue of life. That goes to say it's weird that Republicans are going on a more liberal platform, but people say that that's to protect their vote and to ensure they get into office. I don't know how I feel about that. Senate confirms Biden's radical pick, Judge Maldonado, for 7th Circuit. Manchin and Sinema vote against nominee. 8 GOP senators miss critical vote. Full list below. Jim Hoff reports that the U.S. Senate on Monday confirmed U.S. District Judge Nancy Maldonado to Chicago-based 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, making her as the first Hispanic judge to hold the position. Confirmation came despite a chorus of objections from Republicans who pointed out her massive backlog of trial court cases. The Senate voted 47 to 43, which hears appeals from Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. This marks the 5th judge appointed by Joe Biden to be confirmed to the court, according to Reuters. Maldonado's elevation is part of Biden and the Democrats' agenda to stack the judiciary with radical leftists, despite a reportedly slow pace in ruling on cases. Senator John Kennedy didn't mince words, blasting Maldonado's lagging performance. Of all 68 district judges confirmed last Congress, Judge Maldonado has the third worst record when it comes to issues ruling in a timely manner. But President Biden wants to promote her to an appellate court. Why? Well, watch. During her confirmation hearing, when questioned by Senator Kennedy on what does she mean by assault weapon, Maldonado responded, "I'm not a gun expert." A response that left many wondering if her expertise in constitutional matters might just be as thin. On Monday, McConnell said on the Senate floor, confirming Judge Maldonado would be taking a judge who has proven herself incapable of swimming in the shallow end of the pool and throwing her into Lake Michigan. The people and litigants of the Seventh Court deserve better. And if my colleagues want to see basic competence in their judges, they ought to reject this nominee. But we know that we're talking about DEI. It's about getting a Hispanic woman into office because she'll fall in line, because they don't want someone competent. They don't want someone who can rule against the party and the regime. They want somebody who's going to fall in line, who's going to take your future into her hands and is going to vote against it. That's what they want. And that's what they're going to get. And that's apparently what they've got. Unfortunate, but it's true. Well, this is quite an interesting story. A Daily Show correspondent was stunned when half of black voters in a focus group said that they're voting for Trump. We have the whole video here. It's quite interesting. You've got to take a look. Aaron Abinetti actually shared the video directly on X, saying this Daily Show focus group of black new voters didn't go as planned. Half of the focus group, 3 out of 6, said they would vote for Trump. Watch.
Okay, so who will you be voting for in 2024? Daryl.
Do I have to say his name? I don't want to, but more than likely it's going to be Trump.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And then-
Unbelievable.
Who are you going to be voting for?
Biden.
And then Victor?
I'm with her.
Oh, Biden, okay.
Trump.
Trump?
Biden.
Biden?
Trump.
Okay, we're an even split, which I didn't see that coming. So do you think there's going to be a big shift, any sort of change?
I think it's going to be a big shift.
Me too.
Big shift?
Yes. Big
Really? Okay.
For me, I've always been a Democrat, and it's like for the most part with the Democratic Party, they always make a bunch of promises that they can't deliver.
You know, they use the issues of the African-American community as a soapbox to stand on and make promises, you know, just to get us to come out and vote. And then once we vote and everyone's in place, it's like,
Is this going to be an ongoing trend? We'll have to wait and see this election, but maybe it will be. Speaking of the matter, AOC introduced articles of impeachment against Justice Thomas and Justice Alito. New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has introduced articles of impeachment against Supreme Court Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. This radical step follows her previous threat of impeachment against the 6 conservative justices after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of President Donald Trump's immunity from prosecution for alleged crimes committed during his tenure. The Gateway Pundit previously reported that New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was among the many leftists to freak out over the Supreme Court's verdict on Trump's immunity. Following a ruling from the Supreme Court that President Donald Trump does have immunity from prosecution over supposed crimes he committed in office, AOC took to the X platform to threaten impeachment against the 6 conservative justices, saying, "The Supreme Court has become consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control. Today's ruling represents an assault on American democracy," she wrote. "It is up to Congress to defend our nation from this authoritarian capture. I intend on filing articles of impeachment upon our return." On Wednesday, AOC followed through on her promise, introducing impeachment articles against Justice Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. She accuses both justices of refusing to recuse themselves from consequential court matters in which they allegedly have financial and personal entanglements. The first impeachment resolution includes the following impeachment articles against Justice Thomas: failure to disclose financial income, gifts, and reimbursements, property interests, liabilities, transactions, amongst other. And the second impeachment resolution includes the following against Justice Alito: refusal to recuse from cases in which he had personal bias. You can read the rest of the stories there at thegatewaypundit.com. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Gateway Pundit's Weekend Review. Thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our Rumble channel and to our X account. We are the Gateway Pundit. You can also subscribe to our website at thegatewaypundit.com. Become a supporter today. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.